Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello friends, welcome to Entri, India's best application and best YouTube channel to crack any of the government exam. I, Deepmani Bharadwaj, welcome you all again, and today the topic on which we are going to have discussion is percentage. So let's start with our topic. Percentage. See, as you can see that percentage is made up of different words. See, per means that how much part out of 100. Yeah, cent means 100. What is exactly cent? A cent is 1 by 100th of a dollar. That is 100 cents together make $1. Similarly, as 100 paisa makes 1 rupee, similarly 100 cents make $1. So what does it mean? The whole word means that how much part of hundredth is given. So per part of 100. For example, if someone says what is 80%? 80% means it is 80th part of 100. Fine. So this is the concept of percentage. Now if someone says you have to convert anything into percentage, how you are going to do it? Or if someone asks from the how much percentage, what fraction is going to come? These all things we are going to discuss today, as these all are important things which are related to bank exams, and the season is going off IPS RRB. So these basic concepts must be clear so that we can solve any of the question that comes in our IPS exam. At the last of this topic, I will also discuss the previous year's question that were asked in the IPS earlier. So let's move on to the next part. Now, if I discuss about the conversion of the given percentage into fraction, what do I'll do? I'll do what? I'll just multiply it by 1 by 100 or divide by 100. For example, if someone says, what is the 75% if I convert into the fraction? If someone asks you to convert 75% into fraction, what you will do? See, always remember, when you are removing this sign, you can multiply by 1 by 100 or you can directly divide by 100. So as we are given 75%, and what we have to do? We have to convert into fraction. That means I am going to do what? I am going to divide it by 100, and this will give you what? This will directly give me 3 by 4. Fine. So if I say that 3 by 4 is a fraction, and what will be its percentage? Its percentage will be what? Its percentage would be 75. Similarly, let's take one more example. If someone says what is 20%, how can you write it in the fraction? I clearly know that I can divide it by 100, and by dividing it by 100 I can directly say that its fraction value is what? Its fraction value is 1 by 5. Fine. And if someone says you have to convert fraction into percent, what I'll do? See, last time I told you you have to divide by 100, and in this part you will multiply by 100. For example, if someone says if someone says you have to convert 1 by 5 into percentage, what you will do? You will just multiply it by 100, and this will directly give you what? It will directly give you 20%. Is that fine? It's very simple. The only thing you have to remember it that if we are going to use percentage into fraction, you will do what? You will divide it by 100, and if you are going to convert fraction into percentage, you will multiply by 100. Only this is the basic. Okay, this is the basic funda for every question. Let's move on to the next part. Next part is what? Now we'll discuss what type of problems are made on the percentage. The problems can be on to calculate the percentage value. The problems can be you have to find the maximum value. The problem can be you have to find the absolute value. So let's take one example each and try to understand them. Fine. So let's take first example for the percentage value. If someone asks what is 30% of 600, I clearly know that whenever I'll see percent, what I'll do? I'll directly divide it by 100. So let's try to solve it. Now percentage will give you what? It will divide by 100. For off, we know that we are going to multiply it by what? By 600. Now you can cancel these zeros and directly you will get 180. Fine. So this was as simple as that. Now for calculating the maximum value, let's take an example. 45% of x is 160. So what would be the value of x? Now for this question, I can solve it by two types. First type can be that 40% is given 160. Fine. That means 1% would be what? 1% is equal to 4. And if someone says that it is total is 160 and you have to find the x value, now what I'll do? I'll do nothing but I'll just multiply it by 160 into 100 by 40. Fine. So it is going to give you what? 4 4s are 16. That means it is 400. Fine. Or directly I can say if anything's 1% is 4, that means its 100% is going to give you what? Its 100% would be 400. As simple as that. Fine. And if I go to the long and traditional method, I'll try to solve in this way. 45 by 40 by 100 into x equals to 160. X is going to give you 160 into 100 upon 40, and in this way if you will solve, then also you will get 400. But the best way is what? The best way to find this calculation is in this way. What the question was there? 40% of x is equal to 160. Now find x. See, 40% is equal to what? 40% is equal to 160. That means 1% is equal to what? 1% is equal to 4. That means 100% is directly equal to 4 into 100, that is 400. So these are the super fast mode by which we can solve any of the equation. We'll understand this method later on as well when we'll be solving different questions. Now let's have a discussion on absolute value. Let's take an example. If someone asks what is the percentage of 800 which is equal to 320, that is if someone says x percentage of 800 is equal to 320, then what is the value of x? For this I know that what is 800? From previous question you can directly get it that 800 is our 100% mentioned, isn't it? That means 1% is equal to what? 1% is equal to 8. Fine. And total is given what? Total we are given with 320. Since the total is 320, that means if I divide it by 8, then I am going to get the value, it's 40. So the 40% of 800 is equal to 320. Fine. So this was the short method, and what would be the long method for it? The long method is going to be x by 100 into 800 equals 320. You can directly cancel it out and you can get the x value as 320 by 8, that is going to give you 40. Fine. So you can use any of the method. Now let's move on to the next part. Now if someone asks if any percentage is given and in that any value is about to increase or decrease, how you are going to solve it? See, again I will be telling it to you by two different methods. First would be a formula method. For example, if anyone says that the original value was, let us assume a, and someone says that this value is increased by this percent or decreased by this percent, so what formula you are going to use? For the formula we can say for any of the increased or decreased value and the value is of what? Of a, we can directly use the formula that is a plus minus k percentage of a. K is what? It would be the increase or decrease percentage. Fine. Let's take its example. If Ram's salary is 80,000 per month, if his salary is increased by 40%, what is his salary after the increment? Now we are given that Ram's salary is what? His salary is 80,000 rupees. Fine. And now we are told that his salary is increased by 40%. So 40% is what? 40% is the value of K that I told you in the formula. So let's try to find out its new salary. So his new salary would be 80,000 plus how much percentage is increased? 40% is increased. Since 40% is increased, that means 40 by 100 into 80,000. Fine. If they would have said that the salary is decreased by 40%, then what we would do? We would remember that formula and instead of plus we would use minus in that. So let's try to solve it. His new salary is going to be 80,000 plus what is the 40% of 80,000? It would be, cancelling it by double zeros, it is going to give you out 3,200. That means his salary is add up by 32,000. So his new salary is going to be 1,12,000 30,000. Fine. Now I can solve it by my method also, which would be faster one. Fine. So what is the faster method for calculating the same thing? See, I was told that 80% is a salary. Salary is what? His salary is 80k. Now we are told that his salary is increased by 40%, and I already told you that anything is 100% of itself. That means we are given that 100% is equal to 80,000, isn't it? Now we are told that salary is increased by 40%. Since salary is increased by 40%, the new salary is going to be his 140 part. How? We have taken it by increasing his 100% salary by 40. That means the result is what? The result is 140%. And this will give you what? This will give you 140 by 100, as already told you, 140 by 100 into 80,000. Now while solving it, you can directly calculate it, and multiplying by 14 into 8, 14 into 8 will give you 112, and 3 zeros are there. So this means his new salary is what? His new salary is 1,12,000 rupees. Fine. So this is the super fast mode, and the previous one was the traditional method. Fine. So best method is to go directly for any of the question. Let's move on to the next part. Next question is, Shyam spent 20% of his monthly salary on house rent, 30% on food, 10% on transportation, 20% on household expenses, and 15% on the medication. He saves the remaining amount of rupees 6750. What is his monthly salary? See, what we are asked, we are told that Shyam is earning a amount, and we don't know how much amount he is earning because we have to calculate the same part, but we are told about his expenses on the percentage manner. Fine. And I have already told you that anything is its 100%. That means his salary would be 100% of everything, isn't it? Now what he is doing, he is spending different part in different areas. For example, he is spending 20% of the salary where in his house rent, 30% of his salary on the food, 10% of his salary on the transportation, 20% salary on his household expenses, and 15% part on its medication. Fine. And remaining amount he is saving, that is 6750. Now as you can see, the total percentage of it would give you what? 30 plus 20 plus 10, it would give you 60 plus 20, 80 plus 15, that is 95%. So 95% of his total salary is spent on what? On his house rent, food, transportation, household expenses, and on medication. So what is left? We are left with the 5% part. Since salary is 100% of itself, and 5% is what? His saving, and we are given that his saving is what? His saving is 6750. And now we are going to use our method, that is the simple one. That means if 5% of 5% of his salary is 6750, what is the 1% of his salary? 1% of salary is 6750 divided by 5, and we are asked about its monthly salary. Now for calculating the monthly salary, what I am going to do? I know that his monthly salary would be 100%. This means I am going to multiply it by 100. So let's multiply it by 100. It is going to give you what? You can solve it directly, and his monthly salary is going to come 5 to the 10, 0. This means his monthly salary is 1,35,000. See, as you can see, these are the super fast modes of solving any of the question. So please try to understand that instead of going to all those traditional methods, in bank exam you have to use these methods so that you can get directly the answer, and it comes in the faster mode. See, every time I am explaining you, it takes quite extra because I am explaining you. But while solving it, you can see, you can directly add up all these and you can get 95%. We know that 5% is equal to 6750. That means 1% is equal to 6750 by 5. And what is the monthly salary? It was 100%. So we are directly multiplying by 100 and getting directly the answer 1,35,000. Fine. So please use these methods because these are going to save your time, and it will it will be going to give you the selection. Let's move on to the next part. Now, the next question is, Anu gave 80% of the amount he had to Rohit. Rohit in return gave 1/4 of what he received from Anu to Sonu. After paying rupees 200 to the taxi driver out of the amount he got from Rohit, Sonu now has 600 left with him. How much amount did Anu have initially? Again, I'll say that please do not panic by seeing long questions because these are very simple questions because many things are given here. Since there is a lot of data given here, that means solution is going to be very simple. So let's start solving it. Let us consider that Anu initially was having X rupees. Fine. So let's take Anu as A, and Anu initially had X rupees. Now what we are told? We are told that Anu gave 40% of the amount here to Rohit. This means that Rohit had how much amount? Rohit had 40% of X, and 40% means 40 by 100 of X. This means he had what? He had 0.4 X rupees. Fine. Now Rohit in turn gave 1/4 of the amount he received from Anu to Sonu. So how much Rohit gave to Sonu? Sonu had 1/4 of the amount that Rohit was having. That is, he would be having 0.1 X. Is that clear? Now we are told that after paying rupees 200 to a taxi driver out of the amount he got from Rohit, Sonu has now 600 left with him. So this is going to give me a equation. What? That from 1.1x the amount that he had given 200 rupees to the taxi driver, and the amount which is left with him is rupees 600. And by this I can understand that 0.1x is equal to 800. That means x is equal to 8000. Fine. So initially what amount he was having? Anu was initially having rupees 8000. So these are the simple and best methods by which you can calculate any of the questions. Fine. Now let's move on to the next part. Now we'll be discussing anything based on the percentage. Many type of questions are asked that if the A percent of B is of this much, then B percent of A would be how much. So all these questions also we are going to discuss so that we don't face in any of the question any of the problems. Fine. Let's move on to this part, and we are having a question that 30% of 70 of 2000 we have to calculate. So this is our question. What we have to do? We have to calculate 30% of 70% of 2000, and we have already done same type of question. So we know that whenever percentage sign is given, what we do? We just put divided by 100 here. And percent of means what? Of means multiplication. So it means 70 by 100 of what? Of 2000. And I know that I can directly solve it out. When I'll directly solve it out, I can get it. 7 3s are 21. 21 into 20 is going to give you what? It is directly going to give me 420 answer, isn't it? Let's move on to the next question. The next question is 40% of 20% of a number is 160. What is the 80% of that number? So let's try to solve this question. 40% of a 20% of a number means 40 by 100 into 20% of a number is what? It's 160. Fine. This means that 8% of a number is what? 8% of a number is 160, which means 1% of the number is what? 1% of the number is 20. Fine. Now what we are asked? We are asked what is the 80% of that number? Since 1% of a number is 20, this means 80% of that number is 80 into 20. This means its answer is what? Its answer is 1600. Is that fine? It's a very simple calculation, and if you're going to solve it by the traditional method, you will face the issues. What issues? You will face the time issue because it would take a lot of time. If you are going to solve 40 by 100 into 20 by 100 into x equal to 160, then you will calculate the value of x, and then you will put the 80% in x. It would give a lot of time. So please save that time because this time is very precious, which will give you the selection in the bank. Fine. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is Prashant decides to donate 10% of his salary to a charity. On the day of donation, he changed his mind and donated rupees 2100, which was 70% of what he decided to donate earlier. How much is his salary? Let's try to solve this question in the easiest one. See, we can assume that his salary is X percent. Fine. Since his salary is rupees X, now we are told that he decided to donate his 10% of his salary. Let me mention, let his salary was rupees X. Fine. And how much he donated? He donated 10% of his salary. 10% of X means 10% means we are talking about its zero point 0.1 part. So he was donating this part. But on the day of donation, he changed his mind and donated rupees 2100, which was 70% of the amount he decided to donate earlier. So what amount he decided to donate earlier? The amount which he decided to donate earlier was 0.1x. So the question is saying 70 percentage of 0.1x is equal to what? It is equal to 2100. Now we can solve this question easily. In this manner, we can calculate its part. Its answer is going to come 2100 into 100 divided by 7. This means his present salary is what? His present salary is 30,000 rupees. Fine. So this is our answer. So you can calculate any of the question by this easier method. Never go for the traditional method, all those long ones, because they are not going to help you out. They will surely give you the answer, but they will also surely take your time. And saving time is of utmost importance because we need to attempt the maximum questions so that our selection chances gets increased. Fine. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question says, in an election between two candidates, candidate A got 76% of the votes and wins by a majority of 312 votes. What is the total number of votes polled? Now let's try to solve this part. We are told that A got 76% of the votes. That means we would have received 100 minus 76%. That means how much? That means he would have received 24% of the votes. And we are told that candidate A gets 76% of the votes and wins by a majority of 312 votes. This means what? This means how can you calculate the majority part? You can calculate the majority part by subtracting it, because 76% minus 24% is given in the question. How much we are given in question? It is 312. That means 52% of the votes were in majority. That means he won by 312. This means 1% would be equal to what? 1% would be equal to 312 by 52. And we are asked what is the total number of votes polled, and we clearly know that anything is 100% for itself, isn't it? So we have to calculate the 100% part. This means 312 by 52 into 100 is going to give you what? It will directly give you 600. Fine. So this means total number of votes that were polled were 600. So our correct answer is 600. Fine. So these all are important questions. Please try to understand that we are going to solve in this method, and this is the easiest and best method to calculate any of the solution. Fine. Let's move on to the next part. Now, general problems that are asked on the percentages: x is what percentage of y, what percentage of y is x, what percentage is x of y. So for all these parts we must know that all these means that what is asked. This means they are saying x by y into 100. Fine. So never get confused by the question that are asked. You can easily understand that by more and more practicing. And from where you are going to practice these? You will be practicing these from Entry's application, because we are providing you different questions by the experienced faculties, by which you can solve any of the question easily. Fine. So let's try to solve this question. What is the question? The question is saying that if x is 90% of y, what percentage of x is y? As already told in the previous slide, that you can solve this question directly by applying x by y into 100. And what is the values given here? We are given that this value is equal to what? This value is equal to 90. This means we can calculate x by y is equal to 90 by 100. This means what? This means x by y is equal to what? X by y is equal to 0.9. Fine. Now If someone says that you have to calculate y upon x, so for y upon x, what you will do? You will just reverse it. That is 10 by 9 into 100, and this will give you what? This will give you 111.11%. Fine. So this question is of IBPS 2016. That means this question is very important. So let's try to understand what is the question. The question says, out of total 85 children playing badminton or TT or both, total number of girls in the group is 70% of the total number of boys in that group. The number of boys playing only badminton is 50% of the total number of boys, and the total number of boys playing badminton is 60% of the total number of boys. The number of children playing only TT is 40% of the total number of children, and a total of 12 children play badminton and tennis both. What is the number of girls playing only badminton? Fine. So when you will see this question, you will think that it's a long one. So please do not panic with these type of questions, because these type of questions are very simple. The only thing is that you have to make and keep your basic ideas clear and make mind fresh. So keeping the mind fresh, let's try to solve this previous year's question. So what is the first condition given? We are told that out of 85 children playing badminton or TT or both, total number of girls in the group is 75% of the total number of boys in that group. So we are told that total number of children are how much? They are total of 85. Now we are told that total number of girls in the group was 70% of the total number of boys. So let's take the number of boys be equal to 50. So that means how many girls would be there? That means the number of girls would be 85 minus 50, that is 35. And we can cross verify it by the condition given. What is the condition given? The condition is given that the number of girls is 70% of the total number of boys. So the 70% of 50 is what? 70% of 50 is also 35. That means our condition is correct. Let's move on to the next point. We are told the number of boys playing only badminton is 50% of the total number of boys. Now 50% of the total number of boys is what? It's 50. So this means that we are told 50% of boys would be 25. Fine. So these 25 boys are which? These are the 50% of boys who are playing only badminton. Now we are told, and the total number of boys playing badminton is 60% of the total number of boys. Now we are told playing badminton means along with the badminton, the students which are playing other sports as well, which is TT as mentioned here. Fine. So they are total of 30 boys here. Now let's try to make its Venn diagram. By making Venn diagram, we can easily understand what they are saying. We are making this Venn diagram for the number of boys. And for what? Let it be for badminton and let it be for TT. Let's make it quite bigger. Let it be like this. It is for the badminton and it is for the TT. And it is for what? It is for the number of boys. Fine. And we are told that the boys which are playing badminton are 25. Only badminton are 25. And we know that we are told the number of boys playing badminton and TT both are total 30. That means when we are given total as 30 for the badminton TT, and we already know that only boys which are playing badminton are 25. This means this value would be what? This value would be 5. Because only badminton is being played by 25 candidates and badminton plus TT is played by 30 candidates. So only the candidate which are playing just badminton and TT both, they would be 5. Fine. Let's move on to the next condition. The next condition is total number of children playing only table tennis is 40% of the total number of children. That means here we are talking about the total number of children. Here girls and boys both are included. So let's make one more Venn diagram. And what we were told? We were told that the total number of children playing only TT is 40% of total number of children. So for the next condition, 40% of total children is what? Total children were 85. So 40% of 85 is what? 40% of 85 would give you directly how much? It is going to give you the value 34. This means if I take it as badminton, if I take it as table tennis, I am told that 34 candidates are those who plays just TT only. So only this value is for 34. Now we are told that the total number of children, a total of 12 children play both badminton and table tennis. This means this value is 12, isn't it? Now this value is telling me that the children who will play only badminton would be what? Total number of students are 85. Out of them 12 are playing both badminton and table tennis. Out of them 34 are playing only table tennis. This means the students who are playing only badminton would be 39. This means 39 are the students who are playing only badminton. And how many boys were playing badminton? 25 boys were playing badminton. That means we are asked number of girls who are playing only badminton. Total number of students who are playing badminton is what? Total number of students are 39, out of which 25 boys are playing badminton. That means number of girls who will play badminton would be how much? They would be 14. So the correct answer is 14 here. It's very simple question. The only thing is that you have to use Venn diagram, and if you will try to solve it directly, it would take a lot of time, in which there would be a lot of confusion. So please follow Venn diagram to crack any of the solution. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is again of IBPS 2016, and the question that was asked was, what is the amount saved by Sahil per month from his salary? And three conditions are given. The first condition is Sahil spends 25% of his salary on food, 35% on medicine and education. Second condition is given, Sahil spends rupees 4,000 per month on food and 35% on medicine and education and saves the remaining amount. Third condition is Sahil spends 2500 per month on medicine and education and saves the remaining amount. So what all conditions are required to solve this question? For solving the question, that is how much amount Sahil would be saved, how much amount Sahil will save per month from his salary, we must use which conditions. Is only one condition satisfactory? Let's see. Can we solve the question directly by only the percentage values? No, clearly no. Similarly, for the second condition, we can say that Sahil spends 4,000 per month on food and 35% on medicine and education and saves the remaining amount. Can only this condition satisfy? No. Can third condition satisfy? Let's see. Sahil spends 2,500 per month on medicine and education and saves the remaining amount. We are not told how much was the total amount, so how can we solve using third only? But if I use first condition and second condition both together, or first condition and third condition together, then I'll surely solve this question, because I'll be told how much he's spending and how much he's saving. See, we are told he was spending 25% on salary and 35% on medicine and education. And here we are told he is spending 4,000 rupees per month on the food. Now using both these conditions, I can easily solve this question. So using first and second condition, I can solve. Now for first and third condition, we are told that Sahil spends 25% of his salary on his food, 35% on this part. Now we are told Sahil spends 25% per month on medicine and education and saves the remaining amount. So using first and third condition also, we can solve this question. That means we can either use second or third condition along with the first. That means only using the second condition we will not be able to solve this question. Only using the third condition we will not be able to solve this question. What we want? We want first condition also along with the second or third. Fine. So the correct answer would be D. So these type of questions are also asked in the exam. The only thing is that we must keep our mind and basic concepts clear. So always keep your mind fresh and keep on practicing the solutions. And from where you will be solving all these questions, you can solve all these questions from the Entries application, so that you can easily understand what type of questions are being asked in the exam. And in order to increase your rank, we are providing the rank booster quiz, which is available daily. We are daily providing the quiz at 10 a.m. and where there are 15 questions and you have to solve these questions in 15 minutes of time. From where you will get this quiz? You will get this quiz from the link that is given in the description. So please use this link so that you can boost up your rank and get selected in the first attempt itself. So kindly like this video comment on this video and share as much as possible so that we can bring the maximum best videos for you and get the maximum result out from you. So thanking you for watching this video. Thanks a lot.